Welcome to the Hikmat Healing Podcast. Join me, Lisa, and my co-host Shawn, the founder of Hikmat Healing. This podcast is for the spiritually curious, for people who feel like something in their life is blocked, repeating, or just a little off, but can't always explain why. In each episode, we explore the hidden energetic patterns behind things like bad luck, relationship struggles, emotional heaviness, burnout, even feeling stuck, all using real conversations, ancient wisdom, and stories from our healing work. We talk about energy in a grounded, honest way without fear, fluff, or extremes. If you're curious about how energy actually works, or you've tried other spiritual practices and are wondering what might be missing, you're in the right place. Let's get into today's conversation. Welcome to the first episode of the Hikmat Healing Podcast. I'm Lisa, here with my co-host and founder of Hikmat Healing, Shawn. And we are going to kick it off with probably one of the topics we see most frequently when people interact with our business, and that is this framing of, I have bad luck. Luck seems to be a hot topic with a lot of people that reach out to us that he has worked with in the past and that we're seeing interaction with now. So we're going to start with a very easy, beginner-friendly definition of, so Shawn, what would you say is a definition of just luck in general?
Hi, everyone. So there is two propositions about luck, actually. One of them is about how we interact with the environment by ourselves, how we talk to ourselves, and how reactions from the outside is going to kind of confirm that to us. So how it works, for example, I'm going to just put it as an example because it's going to be working better. For example, you tell yourself, I'm a lucky person. In the morning, in the afternoon, a couple times, deep breath and telling yourself, I'm a lucky person and everything is good. But you have a couple of interviews going on and you don't land any of those jobs that you were thinking that's going to go well. So what is wrong there? It's something that outside is showing you somehow your manifestation is not working. Okay. So how we can relate to that? So that's how people start doubting themselves. That's where they say, okay, maybe I'm not a lucky person. So how we relate to that based on two or three different scenarios that I can bring it up based on the previous conversations that I had with my clients before. I know that what you think is going to be as a loop, going as infinity loop chain going. One link of it is your brain and the other link of it is your surroundings. So how you can change two factor thing by just holding one factor. You need to put a lot of energy as one factor to make that huge change. And with that, such a small leverage, you cannot do a big change actually. So what's the solution here? So in quantum physics, there is an event, they call it viewer effect, or there was a better word.
Well, we talked about it earlier. You were talking about the observer effect.
Observer effect. Yeah. So what observer effect? It means the observer by just having a good deed or a good intentions towards you, towards what you want to put positive in your mindset, but another energy from outside of this loop can break this chain and change the cycle of this loop and make it change. So that's one of the actually huge changes that people see because it's based on the observer effect. And to have a kind of attack or to have a kind of strike that cycle of energy is with the egg breaking residual. With that ritual, we can do that strike to that energy, and in a short term, people see the change. People see, for example, there was a guy who was having a couple of interviews and didn't land any job, but after we did that ritual for this guy, he got the two offers in 1 week. And he was like, it was 6 months that I was doing a couple of interviews, and I was doubting myself. What is going on with my life? And that's the, I think, better interpretations of bad luck. You're not, you are in the cycle of kind of in a cycle of bad luck. And if you want to change it, there's a lot of energy needs to change mm, that equilibrium actually. And that equilibrium needs to change from outside strike, not internal strike. That's why a lot of manifestations about bad luck doesn't change to good luck instantly without having the right rituals.
So would you say then like the observer effect is actually having like an outside neutral person be able to look at your situation and kind of notice where maybe your luck is being blocked? Because I think, is there a way that people can tell if their luck is blocked, or how can people pinpoint this? Okay, I feel like I should be lucky. My luck doesn't seem to be going my way. What do I do next?
So that's a good question. What a counselor does actually, for bad luck, I would say one side of it is mentally, the other side of it is the energetically. So on energetic side of it, if you don't know how to do it, the usually a counselor or a psychologist just with words can make you change the feeling of you towards the situation and show you different points of view and good side of that point of view that you might think, it's not a good thing, but they can change your mindset somehow. But it doesn't resolve the issue, most of the time. That's the thing. Yes, you are broke, you don't have any job, for example, and you want to land a job so badly, and you pay for a psychologist to tell you that no, you're not that lucky, you're not that bad luck. There's worst case scenarios that can happen to you. And with such a word, yeah, that can make you feel better, but that doesn't resolve your problem. you know that's why maybe, yeah, your good intention needs to get on the way, but at the same time, there is energetic side of it need to strike at the same time. I would say in one of the mostly in my conversation with the clients, I usually pinpoint what is their issue about the bad luck. You know, if they are in a cycle of bad luck, or if there is something else. So with other stuff, and to talk about other stuff, there are signs that I've practiced over years that I know what is going on, and I can pinpoint that specific thing to the person and let them know what is going on, and at the end offer them, what is exactly thing that they need to pinpoint their issue.
So what you're saying is that it's really a two-part approach. It's the person's like awareness that something is off, but to really make the lasting change they need like the ritual of this, that help that you provide to actually break the cycle of this bad luck that because it's not all
Exactly.
internal, correct? There can be a combination, I'm assuming, of internal and external forces. And you can do as much internal work as you'd like, but if you're not addressing the external, you can only go so far, right? It's like when a dog's on like those retractable leashes, that's your internal work. And you can go as far as the leash will let you, but until you do that external to like cut the leash, you can't actually run free, right? So
Exactly.
as you're working with people, are there like common signs that you see people show up with that you're like, oh, this is blocked luck, or something that would make you think, oh, this might be something else? So specifically, what would people show up and you think this is going to be a blocked luck kind of situation?
Good question. um Usually when some people, they consider themselves of a good or lucky people. Okay, they know they are lucky. In most of the situations, they know they are lucky. Some people, for example, win a lot of tasks during the day, that you see a lot of tasks during the day is going to be adjusted for you automatically without need to try so hard, without need to put effort daily for those smaller tasks that you usually need to focus on. That's one of the signs that people call themselves lucky. But there are some other type of people that they look at themselves and put it this way, that if I am not careful, I need to have extra attention to all the details and all that, like, smaller moves around me. Because if I turn my head and if I'm not aware enough, something will happen. And those people that they are a little bit more conscious about their situation, and they don't consider themselves as lucky as possible. That's one of the signs that, for example, these are just examples. Okay. You want to go outside to buy something. Okay. And when you step outside, you remember, oh, I forgot my keys. You get back and the door is locked. And you manage to get inside and you're looking for your key for half an hour. Finally, you find your key. You get outside, you see when you try to turn on your car, you see your car doesn't turn on, for example. Or your car turns on, but hardly turns on, or you see a flat tire on the way. These are these are maybe for some people, these are signs that they call it external signs that people see and they say, okay, this was something that should not ever happening because it's an automatic thing that I every day face, and I don't need to be watching out about those stuff, every day. Okay. But for some people, these smaller stuff is takes their energy every day. Like they need to be careful about not forget my wallet, not forget my phone and my keys, for example. And all that they need to double check everything because they think they are maybe careless, but sometimes it's not like that. It's not about your attention, about the every single thing. Sometimes this becomes some kind of hardwired in us. And when we look at it at the different perspective, those people become a little bit disciplined. And after a while, they see themselves that, okay, because of the discipline that I used to hold in during this time of like life, I could reduce all the mistakes that can possibly happen in my life. Okay. So they don't consider themselves as lucky. Okay. But bad luck, or these people, I call them block luck. Like, they don't see themselves as lucky. And it's something internal they till they don't change their mindset and separate these two things together, like from each other. Like when you need to have a discipline, you need to have be careful about smaller tasks that you got to do it automatically, because you don't need to focus on be aware that I need to, there is something that, double check every day to check your keys, wallet and phone before you like, lock the door, for example. These are smaller habits that makes us kind of disciplined at the first place. But that luck block, this pattern kind of makes the person think that, I was not lucky enough. That's why I need to put extra attention to everything.
It almost sounds like you're talking that people have like neutral luck, where it's not necessarily bad luck, but it's not really good luck. And they've used this discipline to kind of pave over the fact of, I haven't had things go my way. So if I just feel like I'm extra disciplined and extra careful about anything, I can have a little control over the luck or lack thereof in my life. So if somebody feels like, it's not that I don't feel like I have bad luck, but I don't necessarily feel like I have good luck, what's maybe, let's talk about inside of a session. So you do offer a Ra's healing session, which is probably our most common one. And
Right.
that does include the egg breaking ritual. So when somebody would come to you and say, hey, I think I have a luck issue. I don't feel like I have good luck, but I don't feel like I have overwhelming bad luck. What is Talk us through the like process of how you kind of determine where their luck block is if they're coming to you for this particular issue.
Okay. First of all, the question will be, um, why do they think they are bad luck? What are the signs that they see? Because usually there are external signs that is showing us what is going on with our life, and that's how we feel we are bad luck or we are luck blocked or any other issues that we can think of. Okay. For example, there was this client that she had this issue for a while, and she had, like, the water was like, they had she had kind of issue with her. I would say she was a puffy skin, like, water was getting under her skin.
Retaining water.
Yeah, retaining water. And this issue was going on with her, and she did all the tests, like, kidney, heart, liver, and um, all of that was showing, everything was showing normal, and doctors were not sure what is going on. And she was taking some infusions every week or every other 2 weeks, and she couldn't eat, and she was like, in a kind of a limbo, that she was for 3 months. She was like, up and down on this limbo, and they thought that it's bad luck, or it is something else. But what I saw, what I, when I saw that thing was totally something else, it was not bad luck. It depends on the situation. For example, most of the I would say events that happen to us, it depends on the event. And for each case, it can be specific. And if I'm gonna put something about the bad luck, for example, this person won won something like a lottery, but it was not that much. And as much as he won the lottery, on 1 day or 2 days later, he had a lawsuit that he lost 90% of that amount, and it was like, his happiness didn't take that long, and he was like, what the heck was going on here? I didn't even get to enjoy the money that I could make, and where that lawsuit came from, something like that. I don't call those stuff as bad luck specifically. Um, I would say more of a being aware of what is your situation first. But bad luck is you are putting effort constantly towards something that you wanted so bad to work, but it doesn't work for you. And for example, you're working on a business, and your business used to work so good, and it's been slow for a while, and you think that, okay, why my business gets so slow? And somebody says, okay, it's a seasonal thing, it's going to get back. But after a while, you putting so much effort, you're putting so much for your advertisement and all that stuff, but you don't get to see that much feedback. And that's where you start getting wondered that, okay, what is going on here? You are putting all your effort and you don't get the result. And a lot of people say, okay, they can justify it with different reasons, possibly, but I usually see those as the luck blocked, or I would say not necessarily bad luck, but uh, you're not lucky enough. I would say that's the cycle that needs to be changed. That infinity needs to be struck with the ritual, and you're gonna see the change.
So it's not like a one-time fix, correct? I mean, it'll fix it for a while,
It
but there
can
could be
happen.
other factors that come back and
Yeah,
mess your luck up
exactly.
again. Okay.
Yeah, it may, you can energy likes to work towards just one intention at a time. So if your intention is towards getting a job, no matter, for example, what specific thing that you're doing, um, sell whatever you have, or getting more jobs if you have a business, and all of that stuff that relates to your luck, it will work. But the thing is, in a while, if other factors gets on the way, it may change the dynamic again because external energies are way more powerful than internal energy. You put some internal energy, that's great, but that's how maybe human beings are wired based on they call it this way. And they say all human beings are kind of linked together. So if I have good deed towards you and you have a good deed towards me, that's how I can become a better person. That's how I can overcome of my problems. That's how love is about.
So obviously, if we feel like if people have a real concern about their luck being blocked, we want them to like hit the link in the show notes to schedule. But that being said, that would be your
Cool.
like first choice would be to schedule a raw session with Shawn and have him do all of his like good energy stuff. But is there one piece of advice you could give people that they could do today that might not fix the bad luck, but might be like that luck? Is there anything that they could do to do something like that?
Of course, there are some energy healing musics on the Hikmat Healing YouTube channel. And the one that is called, I'm not sure what is called exactly, but definitely we can put the link into the description here that they can look at it. And early mornings when you wake up, it's better to wake up with this. I think it's 30 or maybe 10 minutes music. It's better when you are still on the bed. You're still on a bed and you just open your eyes and you want to wake up. There is subliminal brainwaves on those musics that will heal the energy and resonates the energy in your positive energy into your body, into your soul, and into your mind. So you're gonna see the change in couple days. To you feel more energetic, more happy, and as you keep yourself more happy, the luck is going to be more uh, standby.
Yes. So the link to that will be in the description as well as our email address. So if you've got questions about these healing practices that you want us to tackle, we would love to do that. So send us an email with like your questions, your concerns, your situations, and we may answer one of those in one of these episodes. We would love to do that. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, follow, hit all of the buttons because that helps other people find us. We want to thank everybody for joining us on our very first episode of the Hikmat Healing Podcast. We will talk to everybody next week. Thank you so much for spending time with us on the Hikmat Healing Podcast. If this conversation resonated with you, please take a moment to like this episode, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who might need to hear it. This really helps more people find our work. We'd also love to hear from you. If you have a question, a topic you'd like us to explore, or something you're experiencing and want us to talk about it, you can email us at hikmathealing@gmail.com, and that information will be linked below. And if you're feeling called to go deeper, you can learn more about Hikmat Healing and our sessions at hikmathealing.com. Again, link will be in the notes. Until next time, take a breath, take care of your energy, and we'll see you soon.